Good evening. This is your captain speaking. And listen, we're cruising at an altitude so high that you can't get over it, so low that you can't get under it. You dig? We are vibrating so high and sending out frequencies so wide. We are on a planet all by ourselves. What's going on, everybody, man? It's your boy LL. Cool Trey, let me slide you over just a little bit. Can't get right there. There we go. That's as good as it's gonna get. It's your boy Cool Trey, or Trey Belafonte. Before I even get into this, I said Georgia wasn't tapping in. Georgia tapped in. Georgia tapped in. Big College Park tapped in. Booty, 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 booty rocking everywhere. I found you, Miss New Booty. College Park. College Park checked in with me. Yes, I've been waiting on them Georgia checked in. I think I had about 3 people from Georgia checked in. I think I had somebody from the Netherlands check in, man. It's just, the check-ins are great. Y'all keep checking in with your boy. Also, be sure to like this video, share this video, and sub to the channel. So, what we're going to talk about today, I think I got 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 men's fragrances for my collection. Now, well, I probably won't rebuy. There's no probably to it. It is 7 men's fragrances for my collection that I won't rebuy, wouldn't rebuy. There's no point. No point. The first one is a fairly new fragrance. I don't really get the hype behind this one. It's from the house of Latafa, and it's a flanker to the original Assad, and it's Zanzibar, the blue joint. Now, I may need to spend some more time with this and give it another chance and change my way of thinking about it, or just give it another chance. I was so impressed with the original Assad that when I got this one and I saw reviews and I heard people saying that this one was better, my humble opinion, it's not better. It's not a bad smelling fragrance. It's a very high quality fragrance. It's deep, it's rich. But it's something about the notes mixing together that doesn't do well on my skin. It's I don't want to call it a chemical mess, but on my skin it just doesn't do well. I think that's coconut. So I have some other fragrances with the note of coconut in it. That I would prefer over this one. And I've worn this one time and I honestly don't see myself wearing it again. I don't see myself wearing it again. It just doesn't. It just doesn't work for me. It doesn't work for me. It doesn't work on my skin. Now, I may spray this on and go around a young lady or another frag head, and they be like, "Man, what you got on? That smell good." Possibly. But right now, I'm not feeling Zanzibar. It is what it is. So this is one I would not rebuy. I would not buy that one. This next one, how do you say that? Lilabo. This is Santal 33. And I've had this fragrance a while. I don't talk about it much, and I don't wear it much. It's something about this fragrance that is just off-putting to me. I have tried to like it. It gets away really, really quick. I'm gonna be a big boy. I'm gonna be brave, and I'm gonna spray it on my skin. It's green, earthy, vibrant. I think it's the dry down of it that just kind of makes me I think it's the dry down. Performance is good because as I smell it just then, it wasn't that bad. It's definitely a spring and summertime fragrance. Reminds me of the spring. It's kind of bright, kind of green. Well, let me take that bright off. It's kind of green and earthy. Just not my type of jam. Just not my type of jam. From the house of LeBeau, Ali LeBeau, LeBeau, it's Santal 33. Just not my favorites. I wouldn't rebuy this, and I wouldn't rebuy Lattafa's Aside Zanzibar. This one hurt my feelings because at one point this was my go-to fragrance in the summer. Back when I was married, we were going to a lot of baseball games. It performed well in the summer heat. It smelled good. I got so many compliments on it, and it's from the house of Insurrection, and it's Insurrection Pure too. And I say I wouldn't rebuy it, and the levels on it are right here. so I mean, I wore it a lot. But it kind of turned on me. I'm gonna put it on skin. I mean, I paid $20 for it, 20 or so dollars. Maybe I just needed to shake it up before I wore it. It's turned, and that's fine. I've had it a very, very long time. This is not the first Creed Aventus clone that I had turn. I had, what is that, Dua? Something from Dua, Poseidon's Elixir. It turned on me, and it turned me completely against Dua. I know a lot of you believe in Dua, like Dua. As far as my clones go, I'll stick with Sensual Obsessions, and I'll stick with Dapper and Afnan and Lattafa and fragrances like that. I don't, and I like Insurrection. You know, they make our, yeah, is that the name of the company? Insurrection? Yeah, it just gets a little screechy and loud, and it used to be a really good fragrance. And I'm telling you, I would get a compliment on this every time I wore it. And just for the record, I don't fish for compliments. I don't have to. When you smell good and you walk in the room, I mean, people notice you. And I know you see me here and you think, oh, you're always kind of slouchy and you're just in a plain old t-shirt. Yeah, that's not how I go out. That's not, if I'm going somewhere, I put on nice clothes, decent clothes, and I look nice. So there's that. But nonetheless, it just kind of turned on me. So I would not repurchase this. I just don't think I could wear it. Even if I did repurchase it and it smelled right, I don't think I could wear it. But I keep the bottle for nostalgia's sake. And I have Dark and Wild. They have not turned. They smell really, really good. Out of my entire collection, as long as I've been collecting fragrances, I've only had one or two to turn. So I mean, it is rare, but I've had two Aventus clones turn. So maybe it's the pineapple note in there that's, or maybe it's the combination of the notes that don't work well. But nonetheless, like I said, I've used over half of the bottle. So, but no, I couldn't even tell you what this smelled like. So, Insurrection Pure 2 would not be repurchased. This next one is from the house of Nishane, and it is Wu Long Chu. Very fun to say, great looking bottle, love the golden white, the scent is nice, and this is an extrait de parfum concentration. Very nice fragrance, the scent is very nice. Trey, you're speaking so highly of it, why wouldn't you rebuy it? Because I have Vintage Green by Banana Republic, and they're so similar that it doesn't make sense to pay an arm and a leg for this when you can have something similar cheaper. Now, is the quality on the Banana Republic as good as this? No, it's not. It's not. And the top, are they the same? No. You're going to be reminded of they're going to remind you of each other immediately. But there is a noticeable difference in the quality, if I'm being honest. But for $20, I can deal with it. I can deal with the lackluster quality of vintage green. And that's only comparing it to this. If I had never smelled this, then I would still think vintage green is a banger of a fragrance. And I do think vintage green is a banger of a fragrance. Let me rephrase that. I wouldn't think the quality of vintage green was lower had I not smelled this. I think vintage green leans a little bit more masculine, where this one is definitely leaning unisex to femme, where vintage green is straight up masculine. This one is a little bit more unisex to femme. Very pretty fragrance, very bright fragrance, bright floral. Definitely could see a woman wearing this. Got a nice sort of a green tea, citrus type of vibe. Good smelling fragrance, but I would not, if something were to happen and I went through this bottle, which I doubt will happen, I definitely wouldn't run out to go purchase another one. So from the house of Nishane, it is Wu Tang Clan. No, it's Wulong Chu. This next one, everybody raved about it. The person who put me onto it is no longer here, along with us. Rest in peace, Mr. Robert, Big Rob. He used to clean up at the barbershop, and I wore Perry Ellis white. And when I walked in, all the gentlemen was like, "Man, what you got on? That smells so good." And I told him, I said, "It's Perry Ellis white." And I wasn't really sure I liked it, but I wore it that day and received 4 or 5 compliments unsolicited. As a matter of fact, I don't think I've ever worn that fragrance and not gotten a compliment. So that led us to a conversation about fragrances, and he asked me, "Have you tried Perry Ellis Red?" And I said, "No." And he said, "You ought to try it, it's good." And I know everybody likes this fragrance. And the fragrance smells good. There's my levels on it, and I've probably had this thing 10 years. If I want a clone of Aqua, and it's a good clone of Aqua di Gio, and I'm not saying that it isn't. I'm just simply saying, if something were to happen and I had to start my collection all over again, this is one I wouldn't purchase. Just wouldn't purchase it. I probably wouldn't repurchase the original Aqua di Gio either, for performance reasons. Does this smell good? Yes. Yeah, readily available, easy to pick up, inexpensive, very, very close to Aqua di Gio, a little bit spicier, a little bit. It's almost like this should have been what the Aqua di Gio EDP smelled like. Good smelling fragrance. I'm just not over the moon about it. Paris Hilton's Just Me, or Just For Me, whichever it's named, to me is a better clone, better version of it. Now, and that's not to say that this smells bad, because it doesn't. It smells good. It smells good. It's just, to me, it was overhyped, and I don't think the hype was warranted. Is it a good fragrance? Yeah, it's good. But I also have Bell Cam's G, and I liked that much better than this as well. So there you have it. So if I was going to start my collection all over, and I felt like I had to have a go-to spring, summer, everyday driver, and I didn't want to wear a CK1, I would probably just go to Walmart and get Bell Cam's G, or try to find Paris Hilton's Just For Me, because I mean, all 3 of the fragrances are cheap, but to me, this is my least favorite. And I know some of you are probably like, "Wow, that's shocking," but I just wouldn't. I would not rebuy that. This next one I talked about the other day. Good smelling fragrance. Good smelling fragrance, but I have a few in this wheelhouse that are just better. And the fragrance is Hugo Boss Reversed. I have Sensual Obsessions version of YSL Tuxedo, which this puts me in the mind of. And I also have Taxico by Milestone. And they're just better quality. Both of those are just better quality, you know. And again, this is not a bad fragrance. It doesn't smell bad. It smells nice, actually. But because I have those, I just don't see me reaching for this quite as much or as I need to. So if I were to run out of it, I would not repurchase it. Now, that doesn't mean that this fragrance smells bad. I don't think, with the exception, I don't think the Assad smells bad. I just don't think it's for me. I don't think the Zanzibar is for me. I think that coconut gets really, really sweet. And I've talked about how sweet fragrances perform on me. And it just gets annoying and sickeningly sweet. It just smells like I took a bath in coconut water or something. I mean, it's really, really sweet, but it's a little on the annoying side, in my opinion. But even with that said, I don't think it smells bad. I don't think any of these fragrances just smell bad. It's just not my cup of tea. The Santal 33 is just too green. It's just a little too much for me. And again, this one, I like the scent profile. I love the scent profile. I like the way it smells. It's just, I don't think it's gonna ever beat out the Milestone, and I know it's not gonna beat out the Sensual Obsessions, so there's no point. Good smelling fragrance, I just have better options. So from the house of Hugo Boss, it is reversed. This last one, definitely not least, from the house of Creed. I would not repurchase this fragrance. I didn't purchase this fragrance, as a matter of fact. It was a gift from my then wife, now ex-wife, and it is Creed's Aventus. I would not repurchase this fragrance. Even though I got an old Holy Grail bottle that smells amazing, I wouldn't repurchase this. And there are my levels. She is full. Why wouldn't I repurchase this? Gap Electric, established in 1969. Banana Republic, Midnight Hour, Versace, Eros. I had somebody in my comments say that Eros was a standalone fragrance, that it wasn't a clone of Creed. May not be a clone, but it smells like it. My opinion. My opinion. And I'm not the only person that feels that way. And I don't know why people get butt hurt, you know, if somebody thinks something smells like something else. It does. The instant that I smelled Eros Energy, I mean, it reminded me of Creed Aventus. Now, I love Eros Energy. I bought Eros Energy, and I've worn it twice since I bought it. That may not be saying much to a lot of people, but I have a massive collection. So to wear a fragrance twice in the summer, that's a lot for me. But nonetheless, I wouldn't rebuy this. And then there's the elephant in the room, Club de Nuit Man Intense. Does it smell like Creed Aventus? Sort of. Sort of. It has more characteristics of its own than Eros Energy does. But it's inexpensive. It performs really, really well, and they have multiple versions. I want to get some of the other versions of Club de Nuit Man Intense, like the Parfum Edition and the Limited Edition. I want to get all of those. So for that reason, and I have Mont Blanc Legend Explorer, which I guess that doesn't smell like Creed Aventus either, though, if you let some people tell it. And I have English Laundry Legend, which doesn't smell like Creed Aventus either. But I'm just saying, I'm being facetious at this point, guys. But I would not rebuy this. And again, I'm tickled. You can tell by the juice, it's the real deal. You know, ain't no fakes here, baby. This is all real. And I'm glad that she bought this. I didn't know at the time that they were going to start making the bigger bottles, but I'm glad that she bought it. I'm proud to have it. I'm proud to own it. But for the money, I'll rock the other stuff and be just as happy. Like, I don't, you know, I spend a lot of money, but what you guys don't see is I'm a frugal person. Like all these G-Shocks I got up here, I didn't pay full price for any of that. You know, I got a whole, probably 100 pairs of shoes over here. Maybe not 100. Huh? About 50, 60 easily. And pay full price for maybe but one pair, maybe two pair. Everything else was on clearance. And that's the lifestyle I live. And that's fine. That works for me. You know what I'm saying? That works for me. I'm a very patient person. I'll watch something and watch it go on sale and watch it go on sale. But then at the same time, if I want it, I'll get it. But I say that to say I don't have to have. Now, I don't want an entire collection of cologne fragrances, but I don't have a problem mixing and matching. You know what I mean? I don't have a problem mixing and matching at all. Like, I was sitting there thinking today while I was at work, because we've been extremely slow. All of October at night and on into November has just been slow. After about 7:30, 8 o'clock, it's just a ghost town till 11. So I'm looking at fragrances, and I really, really, really liked. I have Dapper's version of Ojon and Sensual Obsession's version of Ojon, and both of them are home wreckers. Both of them are straight home wreckers. So many compliments on them. So I thought, man, why don't you just you like that scent so much, get the real bottle. I looked it up, $269 at Joma Shop. I'm good. I'm not paying $269 for that bottle of cologne. I'm just not. I could if I wanted to, but I'm just not. Just not. Not right now. Now, I may change my mind later, but as of right now, it's just not. I'll just keep wearing Dappers and Sensuals and be just fine. It's not that deep. It's not that deep. So, yeah, and for that reason, I would not rebuy this. And I'll tell you another reason. If I were going to buy from Creed now, it would probably be Aventus Absolute. It would probably be Aventus Cologne and Aventus the 10th anniversary. Those would probably be the 3 Creeds that I bought from Aventus. Those would probably be the 3 Aventus I bought from Creed. And it's, again, does this smell good? Yeah, ask Cheapo. Yeah, it's fire. It's fire. I mean, it's a good batch. It's fire. It's a good batch. Strong, lasts, smells good, gets compliments, does everything that you want a fragrance to do. But I have yet to wear this fragrance. I have yet to wear this fragrance and have anybody say, oh my God, you're wearing Creed Aventus. People don't know. People don't know. I mean, like, you know, I have people come up to me all the time and say stuff like, you got that Savage. Boy, I like that Savage. Matter of fact, I was talking to one of my regular customers who comes in the store all the time. And he and I have struck up a rapport. And we talk about fragrances when he comes in, which I love. I love talking about fragrances and football and cars and women. You know, that's another story for another day, though. And, you know, he was talking about how much he enjoyed the smell of arrows. And he was talking about the arrows that he was smelling was a woman's fragrance. He was like, it smells so good, I almost bought it. And I told him, I said, bro, I said, if you like the way it smells, get it and wear it. You know, but then I was showing him Fragrance Net, you know, where he could get a 6.7 ounce bottle of arrows for $80. Because I think he was I think he said he went to Ulta. That's his spot to go look, Ulta. And they we're looking at charging him an astronomical price. And I was just like, nah, let me show you something real quick. So I showed him, and you can get this bottle for $87. It'll come straight to your house, you know. And it's a 6.7 ounce bottle. I said that'll last you for years. So, you know, but we were just talking, and he was like, man, I don't like that Sauvage. He said, I got that on my hands. I had to go wash it off. And I say that to say that's one of the most popular fragrances out there, but it's not for everybody. Everybody does not like everything. You know, I like Sauvage. I don't ever wear it because to me, every frat boy in the world has it. Every frat boy, wannabe player, and so-called know-it-all frag head has Sauvage, and for that reason, I don't wear it a lot. The EDT, the EDP, the Parfum, or the Elixir. I have all 4. I don't wear them. I wear them a lot. I know. Y'all think, well, why keep them? You know, because I like them enough to keep them. I just don't want to wear them. I smell like everybody else. So, you know, that's that. But anyway, I am going to end this video here, get off, do some editing so you can see it, because I think it's probably about 2 o'clock in the morning, I think. The next video that you see from me will be 7 fragrances from my collection that I would rebuy. And that's going to be a fun one because that's a lot too. You know, sad to say, and this is the collector in me / reviewer, there's probably about 50% of my fragrances I would not rebuy. And again, it doesn't mean that they smell bad. It's just that where I'm at in my fragrance journey right now, I know I wouldn't reach for those fragrances. Like I know. I wore this the other day. It smelled good. I was underwhelmed with it. I know I'm not going to reach for that fragrance probably ever again. If I have the notion to wear something like that, my honest opinion is I would rather wear Milestone, Taxico, or Sensual Obsessions version of Tuxedo. That's just me. But anyway, the Assad I'm going to give another try, but as it's on my hands now, it smells good, but it's just not my, it's something in it that's just a little bit annoying to me. But anyway, guys, I'm going to get off of here and edit this video and thumbnail it and get it up so you can see it. By the time you see it, it'll be Tuesday morning. So happy Tuesday. We made it through Monday. Yay. I love you all, and may God bless you all. And this is your captain signing out. Peace.